Well, January is National Ski Safety Awareness Month, and with more people hitting the slopes this time of year, it's the perfect time for a quick refresh on how to stay safe while still having fun. So joining us today is Austin Smith from Bogus Basin to talk about doing your part on the slopes. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, very important, I think, that we have this conversation because, we're starting to enter into the wonderful ski season, and regardless of how often you've been up to Bogus Basin, it's always important to have a refresh. So let's talk, though, about the fact that January is Ski Safety Awareness Month, and even for people who ski or ride regularly, why is it important that we kind of brush up on these skills?
I mean, we're all here to have fun, right? We all want to go outside and recreate in the outdoors in the mountain together as a community. And it's kind of hard to do that if you get injured or if you're in an accident. So whether you're a frequent flyer or an infrequent visitor, it's really important that we prioritize safety and mitigating risk while on the mountain.
Okay, so let's talk about your responsibility code, because that's something that's been around for decades. What is the purpose of the code, and why does it still, though, matter on days like today and just like every day when you're up on the mountain?
I think every day on the mountain is a great day to prioritize being safe on the mountain. The responsibility code was created in 1962 and has undergone several iterations, the most recent being in 2022. It's important to give guests a code of conduct or a framework to create a safe communal space so that everyone gets home safe, has a good time, and is there to ride the next day.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the most important rules, though, that skiers, that riders should be aware of. And which ones do you think that they tend to forget but really need to be top of mind?
Rules are kind of a thing that sometimes maybe we forget or choose to ignore, but two really big ones that go hand in hand is staying out of closed areas and obeying and reading all signage. It's tempting when you see fresh powder just beyond a rope, but going into a closed area can put you at risk, and it can also put our staff at risk because those areas are closed for a reason.
Yes, exactly. So you're talking about, spaces you don't want people skiing in, right? It may look exciting, might look adventurous.
Very
Why
tempting.
not? I'm a really good skier. I can manage this. Okay, maybe you can. But like you're saying, there's always this off chance that something might happen. And then when you're in that dangerous space, then now you're making others have to enter that space to come pull you out.
Totally.
Yeah, and that just heightens the risk, and we don't want that.
No,
it's not fair to anybody.
And it's not always just closed terrain because there's a risk of you going in there, say, an unmarked hazard. We could be making snow in that area, and there's high pressure hoses, there's team members at work, there's heavy machinery. So it sometimes is a combination of factors, and it's maybe us preparing the mountain for you and, give us a little space. And
don't ruin it for everybody.
Exactly.
Be a good participant here. Okay, what are some of the top tips, though, that people should know before they hit the slopes?
So there's two that also go hand in hand, which is when you're merging on or crossing across a slope or merging into a run, make sure to look uphill. It's like merging onto the freeway. And just like when you're driving, the people in front of you more or less have the right of way, or the downhill rider or skier have the right of way. So it's really important to kind of keep your head on a swivel. We like to say skier ride rad, which is ready, alert, and at distance. And that's, how make sure we all get along and all have our own space to get our groove on.
What a great acronym, too, for carving the slopes, right?
Absolutely.
It's just rad. I do. I like that a lot. Okay. But if someone is involved in a collision or they do get hurt, right, what should they do?
So just like the merging onto a freeway analogy, we like to look at it like how you would treat a collision in your car.
Okay.
If everyone is safe and okay, pull to the side, exchange contact information. If there is an injury, call for assistance, and then definitely notify mountain staff. It's really important that ideally you're riding with a friend or a buddy who can help you in a challenging situation. Ideally you would save the ski patrol's phone number in your phone so that if there is an issue, you can call. So at Bogus Basin, our patrol's phone number is 208-332-5350. But if all else fails, definitely get attention of maybe another guest or try to find mountain staff on the run. Someone will help and get that information related to Mountain Patrol. Yeah, no,
that's a really great point, putting that in your phone with you. I cannot tell you how many times I've been up at Bogus, and I'm going to admit I don't have it saved in my phone. And I'm going to now that I just chatted with you. This not only applies, though, for the downhill skiers, but also cross-country skiers, snowshoers, right? You're going to be going back on some of those hidden trails. You're going to be navigating some areas. maybe you get lost, maybe you fall down, you're in the middle of nowhere, you need to be able to reach out so someone can come get you.
And that's the part where the buddy's really helpful because, I mean, we know the mountains are remote, so you might not have service. So it is fun to go get a solo mission, but if you're going to go into a remote area, at least, bring someone to tag along or see if you can make a friend at the chairlift who wants to go with you because, life's better as a duo.
It is. It is. You always have to have a companion. So appreciate that. Thank you so much. Where can people go so they can learn more about ski safety?
Check out our social channels during Skier Safety Month. We've got some fun content going on. Our website has an entire safety tab that details both winter and summer recreation safety. And if you're looking for information about the Skier Responsibility Code or anything from the National Skiers Association, the NSAA will have plenty of that information as well as things to do with collisions and how to ride defensible or skier ride rad.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate all your advice. And everyone else, stick around. More to come here on Idaho Today right after this.